your dreams.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. I normally don't like uploading twice a day, but I feel like this is pretty important. It's pretty major because this is Snowbreak Containment Zone after all. They're basically dropping the English voice acting. Hello adjutants. After extensive evaluation of voiceover preferences and consideration of the optimal gaming experience, we will no longer provide English voiceover for the new content starting with version 1.4, which is the next version. Other language voiceover will not be affected. If you select English voiceover in settings in version 1.4 or later, some game content will contain Japanese voiceover by default. We sincerely apologize for any inconvenience this may cause, and we welcome your feedback as we continue to strive to provide the best experience of Snowbreak Containment Zone. Some people might say this isn't really that big of a deal, but I've never seen a gacha game just drop their English voice acting before. I find that kind of strange, and the optimal gaming experience, that's kind of bullshit. They're basically doing this because they're not making any money. They don't have enough money to pay the English voice acting, and they basically have to drop it all together. If you do plan to spend money on this game, or maybe even play the game, this might be a pretty big red flag because they're basically dropping the English voiceovers, which has never happened before. At least this is the first time for me anyways. I've never seen a gacha game just drop English voice acting. Another red flag is, even though Snowbreak was not in the Game Awards, the developers themselves were. However, they were only marketing or advertising some other game, some mech game. And I find it kind of weird that they decided to market that game, but they could have marketed Snowbreak Containment Zone instead. Now, I do think the Game Awards are cringe, but I think it's a pretty good opportunity to market your games to new players so you can, have more discovery of your game. But the developers chose not to do that. Instead, they decided to advertise another upcoming game that's all about mechs and stuff. This could potentially mean that Snowbreak might just be another quick cash grab for them to make another quick cash grab for all I know. I know I've joked about this game, dying, but it might actually happen if they actually have to drop the English voice acting, all because they can't afford to pay them. This game does look pretty expensive to make. It is a 3D game. This isn't just like a PNG game, but the game hasn't even been out that long and they're already dropping the English voice acting. Now, if we take a look at their revenue for global, they went from 150,000 in October, and in November they went to 300,000, which really isn't a lot, but I don't think it's that big of a deal for them to drop English voice acting. Like, if we take a look at Ether Gazer Global, they're basically at around the same as Snowbreak, and they have English voice acting. So I don't know what this is for mobile only, so the fact that mobile's making this much probably means that PC probably isn't making that much either. And Ether Gazer doesn't even have a PC client, but Snowbreak does, so maybe the PC client isn't really doing that hot either. But yeah, I do find this kind of suspicious that they're dropping English voice acting at all. Now, for whatever reason, the Japanese side isn't shown here, probably because they don't have access to it. I don't know, but maybe global may not be doing that hot, but maybe Japan is doing a little bit better. But I don't know. I do find this a pretty big red flag, right? Dropping English voice acting just doesn't really look like a good sign. But anyways, that's going to be the end of this video. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think this is a red flag? You think it's not that big of a deal? What do you guys think? And I'll see you guys later.
Bye-bye now. Come again soon.